Good morning, everybody. This is Blueprints. Well, we've had a couple days of pretty rotten luck now. It seems to be that we'll have a day of good luck and then a couple of bad luck days in a row, then a day of good luck. And that's just how it is now. That's just the rest of the game, so get used to that. Um, I'm just about done with this. I get one more use of the axe. There are some rooms that we haven't found yet that would be good candidates for that, so I don't know if I want to look for the axe a third time until I've seen those rooms. But it's not that big a deal. It's not like if you use the axe on the wrong room, your run is over. It just, if you use it on stupid rooms, it's not that helpful. How close am I to any of this? Not really close at all. Trophy of Invention. Oh yeah, because I made the electromagnet last time. Well, I wonder what else I have to make. I don't remember. What do I want to go for today? Let's see if I can get like dead ends out of the way now. I can take the gallery here. Actually, that's a good spot for it. The puzzle is already solved from last time. We don't have to do it or complain about it again. Going right would work for me here. I feel like I want to go right. But I could also go left. I'm just worried about this, and if it goes up, then if this goes left, it creates a block. But I can just put the courtyard here and not worry about it at all, and then put a dead end here. I don't want to put the den here. I want to put the spare room here, and then we'll see what we do from this. Do I want to go out to the outer rooms, or do I want to explore a bit and then decide what to do based on how successful this is? Let's go in here and get some stuff. So every time we enter the gallery, we're going to get 4 coins, the key 8, and 2 gems. Every time. So that is guaranteed. Commissary, storeroom, closet. Do I want a dead end here? Probably not, actually. Because I'd rather have the dead end here, because we already have another way left here. We don't have any way to the right, so I'd want to fill these rooms. So I'm going to put the commissary here. I'm going to see what we have for sale today. Also, I should pay attention to this. Annual Maid's Day sale, 2 days only. So we're at day 19, so tomorrow and the day after, we're going to have half off everything. So Sledgehammer's good. Am I saving my money for anything? Not really. I don't want the axe today. I want to save my last use of the axe for when I really know what rooms to do. Magnifying glass, sleeping mask, running shoes. What would this be? Oh, burning glass is made with magnifying glass and metal detector, so I do want this. Sledgehammer. These are all good, so I think I'm going to take the sledgehammer and the sleeping mask and save the running shoes for when I get a few more coins. We'll head here. Office is a terrible pick for right here. Reading nook is fine if the library turns to the right. That's what I want to see. It does, so we're going to take it. We find a treasure map, which is not useful unless we find a shovel. It's actually pretty close to where we are. Alright, let's read this book. This is the final book we can take out from the library, for now. A Sightseer's Guide to Reddington. It is November 25th. A modest account of our town by Sir Andrew Darrell. Introduction. The third largest city in Fen Ares and site of its former capital. The third largest... Why am my brain not parsing that? Third largest city in Fen Ares and the site of its former capital, Reddington. Okay. Reddington is synonymous with mountains, mystery, and magic. Most tourists head straight for the boardwalk and don't get much further than the botanical gardens. However, Reddington has much more to offer. Spectacular scenery, a historic castle, and a charming underground bazaar reward visitors who wish to explore further. Reddington is that type of unique, enchanting place that lingers in your mind and memories long after you leave her. I can look at this with a magnifying glass, but I don't think there's anything here. It's just a nice picture. The Botanical Gardens. Reddington's most popular attraction and a guaranteed crowd pleaser, the Botanical Gardens is loved by both locals and visitors for its Ajaran canopy house and mausoleum, its petal-covered trail, and a mind-boggling variety of flowers. This is the reason springtime is Reddington's busy season. Situated just east of town, the Botanical Gardens offer a scenic and captivating tableau of the natural countryside. A cobblestone trail meanders past over 1,000 species of tropical plants, each remarkable in its own right, yet even more stunning set against the spectacular backdrop of the Reddington Mountains. Allow yourself at least an hour to indulge in this picturesque walk, which concludes at Mainway Station. Okay. So the thing is, we only play the game of Mount Holly. We're never going to the botanical gardens, but it's possible we were going to want to know some information in here, so I'm just pay attention to the names, perhaps. Ilex ex Messerve. This looks like something you'd want to remember, but I don't know what it's used for. Specimen of holly unique to Reddington's mountains. Featherfall Keep. You will find sitting at the base of Mount Perma, Reddington's second highest summit, a historic site described by scholars as significantly important to the realm's past. Featherfall Keep, the former home of Lord William Epson, has until recently always been a private residence, serving as a family home to the Epsons since before the Third Era. After the death of Lord Epson, his oldest son Lionel Epson left the estate never to return. However, the daughter stayed, maintaining the residence and its staff until her marriage in 1951. That would be Clara marrying Simon Sinclair. And we saw the picture of her and Simon in the ballroom taken in 1952. At that point, Featherfall Keep ceased to be a family residence. It began operating as a historic house museum and tourist attraction, and the estate was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1972. It is still believed by many that Featherfall was built by the first king of Orindia. I keep saying Orindia. It's Orinda Ares. It's still believed by many that Featherfall was built by the first king of Orinda Ares, when Reddington was still the capital. However, surface documents containing conflicting dates have recently cast some doubt on the long-standing myth. Trinsdale Lake. Close your eyes. I can't read the rest of the book, though, if I do that. Okay, I'm just not going to do that. Close your eyes and imagine tranquil, serene stillness, rolling fogs, clear water, and gliding swans. In the midst of all that beauty, commas unnecessary, sits Trinsdale Lake, one of Fen Airey's premier vacation destinations, exclusive for its more privileged citizens. The lakeside resort and cabins have been frequented by royalty and the realm's gentry for generations. However, on the southern shore of the lake, tourists are free to enjoy the views and rub elbows with the rich and famous in the 100 Bells Tea Room, which is open to the general public for lunch on Mondays and Fridays. And we saw a thing that said 100 Bells. Down in the basement, there was a little card that just had 100 Bells written on it. Mount Holly. At an elevation of 11,220 feet, Mount Holly is the tallest mountain in the Reddington Range and the highest peak in the entire realm. Beyond the physical challenge itself, climbing Mount Holly Trail is a beautiful experience and one that many hikers and explorers will want to do at least once. It's only a few hours from Reddington to get to the trailhead, and you won't need any local guides or special gear if you tackle the trail during the summer season. However, those willing to give this mountain a significant amount of planning and research will be greatly rewarded whether or not they actually summit. On the opposite side of the peak, far from the trail, rests the estate of Mount Holly, nestled between the summit's northern slope and saddle. This 80-acre mountain residence is almost as old as Reddington itself. However, unlike Featherfall Keep, the property has been completely private since the closing of the Mount Holly schoolhouse in '66, which we read about in the schoolhouse itself, one of the outer rooms. Still, hikers will be able to appreciate the house's unique architecture at a distance from one of the trail's many north-facing overlooks. Mainway Station Bazaar. For the sentimental tourists wishing to pick up a souvenir to remember their stay, one might try braving the Mainway Station Bazaar. But don't be too hasty. Without proper guidance, the Mainway Station can be a dangerous place. Located underground, this unique marketplace was once Reddington's Central Railway Station in a time when the realm's trains were still in service. Now the turnstiles, footbridge, and platform have been appropriated and turned into a cavern of tents and torches. Whether you are bargain hunting, looking for adventure, or finding a memento to commemorate your visit, the Mainway Station Bazaar will be a worthy conclusion to your sightseeing adventure in Reddington. So here's the map. Might be a little hard to read here. So Mount Holly, we're here down at sort of the southwest corner, and the town's a little to the north, which we can see, I believe, from a vantage point outside. Botanical gardens are down here. Is that true? Can we see this from somewhere? We might be able to. We're never ever going to go to these places. As far as we know, the game is just going to take place up here. So this seems to all just be flavor text, like, oh, we're learning a little bit about the world. But it's possible that some of this will come back at some point. I don't think the magnifying glass helps in this book at all. It does give us some information on the Epson family. A little bit. So there's a Lionel Epson left the estate and I guess just vanished. We don't know who he is or why he did that. Alright, so unless we find a way to add more books to this library, we've read everything. The only reason then to draft a library is to get uncommon rooms out of it, which a vault would work. But unfortunately, you may notice, a weight room loses half the steps. I'm not that afraid of it. If I can get to like a dining room, I'll be okay. It does sort of waste this door here, but these two are still good. And I don't have to spend my gems. Of course, there are 2 gems waiting for me here. If I had gone and gotten those gems, I could just take the vault right here and I would be fine. But the vault, it's going to show up again. I'm choosing to believe that this vault wants me to draft it, so it'll show up again. Treasure Trove doesn't have nearly as many exits, but it's a guaranteed 5 coins, and it sets me up for later runs to get more coins. So I think I want this just to set myself up for the future. Ooh, locked trunk. I have a sledgehammer, though. Oh, yeah, I guess you can't. This type of trunk you cannot open with a sledgehammer. There's a knight in here. This is where the coins are. I think I want to get more keys before I come back here. I don't want to use my one and only key. So let's get something that turns left. I did not, so we're going to take the closet here, get it out of my draft pool. Here's a key, here's a gem. Maybe I use the key here because I might not come back. The green memos you find in this room will always be true. Okay. Maybe. Let's keep that in mind. So green memos are interesting. Blue memos are always true, red or false, unless they're handwritten. Green ones can be true or false depending on things. If this, however, is a false note, right? Like, it's possible this note is false, but we don't know. If this note is true, all of them are true. I want to also check the trunk it's in. It's in a white trunk with a moon symbol. There's really no way to explain this without sort of looking ahead. The next time we draft this room, there's going to be a different colored trunk with a different symbol and a different note. Like, otherwise, why would this note be here? Like, there's only one green memo in here. So, yeah, of course it's true. It's the only one that's in here. We're going to find more of them. So that's why we're just going to want to remember white trunk, moon symbol, green note. Because the next time we might have different colors. Is there anything else I can do in here? It looks like I should be able to interact with this box, but I can't. Okay, well that was a little lovely trip. And we're going to buy at the commissary now. I have enough for the running shoes. Do I want to do that? What else would I save up for? Armory is the only thing I can think of that I would want. This will save me steps, so I'm not worried as much about the weight room. Do I want the courtyard first? I think I want the courtyard first, because there's a shovel in here, so let's take that, yeah. Let's see what else we can get. There's 2 gems, of course. There's only 1 digging spot. That's not my favorite thing ever. Let's draft this room. Security's nice. Chapel's nice. I don't have a lot of money to give the chapel. It's okay. I could guest bedroom it and try to go up the sides from either one of these. Well, either way, I have to go up the sides. So let's use one that doesn't waste an exit. I guess we got some car keys in here. Nice. Anything else? No. And then we're going to head out the spare room and see what we can get. What outer room am I looking for at this point? Tomb is great for, and the trading post if I get a burning glass. Like, that's a goal for me. Hold on, we haven't been here yet. We're going to go to the conservatory. And we're going to dig this up. Give me something good. Turnip is good. Drafting locations. West Wing only, the garage, West Wing Hall, her ladyship's chamber from south-facing doors. Ah, we have never been there. So now we know we have to go to the West Wing and go south to draft this room. The garage and West Wing Hall, we kind of already know. East Wing Hall is East Wing Hall and master bedroom. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. We've only seen the master bedroom over there. Other special cases, conservatory, only draftable in a corner. Bookshop, only draftable from library. So yeah, if we want to buy books, we have to draft the library. It only goes out of the library, and it's not guaranteed. We got a rook there. Keys, baby. Lockpick is fine, too. If I can actually pick locks. Alright, conservatory will be able to permanently adjust the rarity and rates that determine how often certain floor plans are drawn. So the rumpus room is currently a standard room. Standard room's garden variety, not common enough to be a nuisance, not rare enough to be elusive. So I could make this more common if I wanted to see it more often, but I don't really need to see it more often, right? Commonplace. I don't want to just keep running into the Rumpus Room. A straight shot is not the most useful room type. Yeah, Alzara's here, but I think I'm going to see Alzara enough. 8 coins is not that much of a draw. But I don't want to make it unusual. I don't want this to be hard to find. This is the floors that are encountered on occasion, the infrequency of which may contribute to their apparent prestige. And I definitely don't want this to be a rare room. So I'm going to keep this where it is. Let's look at the pantry. It's already commonplace, and I like the pantry. Boiler room is unusual. I don't want this to be unusual. It's got a T-junction, which is very useful, and it's got power. I'm going to need that for the pump room puzzle. And I don't think anything else. I think that's the only puzzle that I need to solve with the boiler room that hasn't been solved. But I don't want it to show up just anywhere. I want to make this a standard room. So, yeah, these two I wanted to keep where they were. I don't think I want to make the pantry less likely to draw. Actually, the pantry isn't that good anymore. Because the 4 coins, I start with plenty of coins, and it's got like one little dinky apple in it. I'm going to make this a standard room as well. So it'll show up slightly less often, because sometimes it just gets in the way. I don't want it, so we're going to do that. We're going to make all these standard rooms. We'll see what that does. So yeah, I'm going to want to draft this room more often, because eventually there'll be some super rare rooms I want to see like every day, and I want to make those ones common, but I can't do that yet. You just have to kind of get lucky. The chapel's a good draw here. The West Wing Hall's a good draw here. Corridor's fine. It does kind of waste this courtyard thing, but that's okay. I'm going to take the chapel, because the West Wing Hall is going to keep showing up if I move. Like it could show up here. It could also be the veranda. Greater chance of finding items in green rooms. I don't want this here. Actually, this is the best one to put there. Does kind of waste my gems, but maybe I find more. Maybe I find that. Nothing of interest, that's great. Well, dice and coins is okay. Now I want this to be a West Wing Hall. Yeah, I don't want a garage here. It uses my last gem. It's good for keys, but then it also dead ends me, and I would need to get very lucky to get out of there. So West Wing Hall is the way to go. We head back to the chapel, and I'm not super concerned about dead ending here. I would love not to, but I'm not as concerned. One locked trunk, which won't be locked, so it's a free trunk. This is just continuation, and I get 2 gems if I do this puzzle. But I'd rather add the funeral parlor when I have more red rooms. Either that, or I make this and then double back to this location. But I want a source of gems, so we're going to do this. We're going to draft something here. It perhaps is... These would dead end me, so no thank you. So the corridor is going here. It does... I don't need it because of that room. Do I redraw here and hope for a dead end? What dead end do I want here? I've used the closet. I've used the guest bedroom. I don't want the vault to show up. I don't have enough gems. I want the coat check, actually. I'm going to redraw once and see what I get. Storeroom's fine. I'm going to get my key and gems. Now a vault is a good thing to show up, although I still want to open up my floor plan a bit so that the vault doesn't show up quite yet. Okay, so to the right, I think I just want something going straight. Den would be great if it also pointed up, but I will take a den here. It's another gem. This should be... A drawing room is good here, because it gives me a lot more stuff. And I can get a free gem from the safe. Okay, this run still has a chance of something happening. If I get the burning glass, I can go out and try to get a trading post or a tomb. I'd want at least one more die to guarantee one of those rooms. But they might just show up anyway. Let's do this. Workshop is nice if I want to make something with my items. What would I make with my items? There's the pantry. Well, I guess it showed up. What would I make with this? Workshop's going to have an item in it, though. So I think I'm just going to take the workshop that it's giving me and hope for a good item. I think it's a broken lever, which is okay. What special keys do I have? Oh, the key 8. I don't care about that right now. Coat check is here. So let's make the coat check. And now I have to get the vault. That's going to be harder because the vault is a rare room. If I don't get it, the coat check will not be lost. As long as I don't take the item out, that key is still going to be in there. What can I make? Broken lever works only with the sledgehammer and the shovel, but it needs the battery pack to make the power hammer, and this needs the battery pack as well. Sleeping mask cannot go with anything, apparently. Running shoes, same. I need the metal detector. That's what I really need here. Special key, this won't work because I'm not at rank 8 yet. So we're going to use... Are we going to use a key yet? We're going to head back. We're going to head back and go the other way first. I mean, if I get a vault, I'm willing to throw away the good drafting just to use it. Alright, I guess we use a key here. One locked trunk. Those don't head the right way. This also doesn't need it. I guess I'm going to take the hallway. Get something out of the trunk, because hopefully it's more keys. Key card is also nice. I haven't found security room, but if I do find the security room, that'd be nice. Boudoir is good. It's going the wrong way. What is wrong with you? All of these go the wrong way. And it's no good for me to take this, because then I'm forced to go this way and hope that it works out. I gotta redraw. All of this is awful. Okay. Well, we're going to hope that this is good. I know it's unlocked. So armory is fine because it goes the right way. But I don't have enough money to buy anything. Let's bedroom it. Because there potentially could be a gem in here. Key? Anything? Well, I get my steps back. Greenhouse. Boudoir is going to have the dice. More likely to draw green rooms while drafting. I don't want that because the vault is not a green room. So we're going to take the boudoir and hope that it's not a locked door here. But at least I get more gems. I just would love something with keys. It would also be nice to find the security room so I could turn up the security and use the key card instead of having to use real keys. Has not been my lucky... Oh! This is the room? Yeah, time to start digging. Would be nice if there were keys in here. I don't think I've ever found keys in these coffers. Well, I gotta take a drink of my battery acid. There we go. Yeah, it's just coins and gems. Which, thank you for the coins and gems, but if I don't have enough keys to progress, then it's not worth anything. Good, that's not locked. This would have locked doors, this would be a... Okay. Okay, we're gonna redraw. Vault would be nice right about now. Dark room is bad. Kitchen is going the right way. However, it could have a locked door. Do I redraw one more and hope that I don't blow it? I think I draw the kitchen here. I think that's what I do. I can get steps, but I'm not hurting on steps. Passageway is free. Security, though. Security gives me the locked things that I want, because I could potentially... Okay, those are regular doors, though. I don't like that, because I don't have a lot of keys. Keycard system. Security level should go up. No reason not to ever do this. I'll also go to the network, and then look for the laboratory. You know what? I could also check my email from here. I realized I set that up at the admin terminal, too. Okay, let's set one up that helps. Could I immediately get one key? That'd be nice. Every time you eat an apple. Whenever you draft a shop room. I'm good on steps, so let me draft red rooms. I think I'm more likely to draft a red room than a shop room. That's risky as hell, though. Shop room, I already have a few shops in the place, so there's less of these, whereas I have potential for some really crappy rooms here. That could at least get me some keys. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to try to get some red rooms, because then I'll just have keys. I don't really like doing that, but we could try. Oh, well, I can get keys from here, too, so never mind. metal detector would really make my day. 1 plus 2 is 3, squared is 9. 5 squared is 25, times 2 is 50, divided by 10 is 5. 1 squared is 1, multiplied by 30, divided by 15 is 2. Okay. I'm not worried about keys for a bit. I'd love to see that vault. It's what I really love to see. Closed exhibit is not scary to me because I have security doors, so this is good. Or I have the key card to open the security doors. Experiment successful. Lost some of that, and I gained a key. That's good. Let's head this way. See what I can draft here. Boiler room. Boiler room is good because it's got connectivity. Now, if I power things up, I'm less likely to get the vault. And I don't want to do that. I don't care about the pump room today. What I want is the vault. So I really would love a dead end here. So let's add another key to my arsenal. Yeah, it's taking my steps, but I got plenty of those. Not worried about that today. This is the wrong level for key 8, right? Yeah, so we're going to use a regular key. But I have regular keys now. Because I'm so good at the game, I never make mistakes. So archives is going to happen, I guess? Do I really want the archives? That's the question for the ages, because this seems like a good way to get myself killed. Right? Like, if I take the archives, I can't see the rooms I'm drawing. The vault could show up at any time. So, Mechanarium? 1 door for every room. Security's a gear room, Mechanarium's a gear room, so that's 2. The workshop is a gear room. The boiler room's a gear room, so that's 4. I have 4. 4 doors is good. That should get me out in multiple directions. Yep, all 4 directions. Let's see what's up, because then I can use my key 8. Which always turns to the right. Not the greatest way for it to turn here, but I'm going to do this puzzle again. So it's just going to take a little bit of time as I do it, but the answer is always the same. So once you've solved this one, it's just free whatever it gives you. I think it's roughly the same prize every time. This one is... The ones that just have the obvious ones I like to go for first. Because the N, I've used the N one, so it's envy. This has to be close to the fin. So then it's the 2 that are the hardest to remember. So this is avarice. And this one is wrath. Another allowance token. I think it's an allowance token every time. It might change after a while, but yeah, 22 is pretty good. Eventually it'll be high enough that I just can buy whatever I want forever. Dining room is good for steps. Observatory, I don't... Drafting studio is also good. It uses a bunch of gems. What would I want to add? Do I have the magnifying glass today? I do. Let's take the drafting studio. Let's get our last safe. So we already discussed what this puzzle was. The one that was like, it was almost perfect. I actually thought about it between the last video and this one, why I struggled with this one. If this was not marked, if this calendar was blank, then the puzzle would be like, you have one answer. But because this is marked, it looks like you have to use this for the answer. I don't like that. If this is here, and you remove everything from this calendar, it becomes obvious that you need to look at the calendar to get your answer, I think. Or look at the picture to get your answer rather than this. So I think if that had been crossed out, or not crossed out, but if that had not been filled at all, if it is a completely blank calendar, we could have got something from that. Anyway, 1108 should be the thing. Nice. That opens the safe, and it gives us a tiny, tiny red envelope that we'll read with the magnifying glass. Alright, I guess we gotta do this one. Alright, November 8th. Uncle, in a few hours we are departing. As planned, we will be taking the old Mountain Way tunnels to the north. We'll go as far as we can by trolley until the rails give out. Then we'll proceed on foot until we reach the southern border. I've never been as excited, nervous, and heartbroken. I may never know if I've made the right decisions, but I've made the ones I felt my father might have nodded in approval at. I'm leaving a message for Simon here in the safe house, this unhallowed cavern that we have called home for the last year. If something should happen to me, please guide him to this place. Try to show him what these lost days were all for. Explain to him, if you can, the intersection between foolishness and doctrine, the thin wire we stood upon above the world, holding hands and throwing stones. Holding hands and throwing stones. In those days we were guilty of everything. As always, Mary. So this letter's by my mom, and she's basically saying she's going to do the thing, which we now know is the heist for the Red Crown, which was stolen and turned into the Crown of the Blueprints, which I have already used. And this is her plan to sort of do the escape. Going to be taking Old Mountain Way tunnels after staying in the safe house for a bit. Safe house. So maybe there's a room we can draft or something. That's a safe house room. The shelter isn't quite it. Even though there was notes in the shelter about people hiding down there from the Red Guard, I don't think that's what the safe house is. So we're going to see if we can find something. Unhallowed cavern. Maybe it's underground somewhere. Unfortunately, there's no gem there, but that's okay. We have now found all of the red letters. That is that. Wednesday, November 25th. Did I ever read this book? I never read this book last time we were here. Let's read this book. Let us together... Okay. Drafting Strategy, Volume 1. We read Volume 3 in the library. We didn't read any of the others yet, though. It's just number 1. So let's see what we have to say. A lot of this is going to be just kind of obvious, but we might find some new information in here, so we might as well read it. The drafting spectrum. Blueprints are more than just blue. It should come as no surprise that the first color that comes to mind when speaking about blueprints is blue. And while it is true most architectural plans and designs are found on blue paper, it is not the only color in which floor plans are drafted. In fact, originally they were not blue at all. Hundreds of years ago, the chemicals used to create floor plans used coated paper to turn black when exposed to light. This raven hue, perhaps more fitting to the reign of Aurus, wonder why, was decidedly more difficult to affix an architect's revision edits to, and so blue was proposed as an ideal replacement as it had no political ties to any other realms. By the Fourth Era, all floor plans were being printed on blue paper. Over the years, the fear of political connotation deferred to innovation, and the use of colored prints eventually became popular with engineers and architects who use hues as a way to differentiate various types of buildings and rooms. Violet prints, for example, are only used when creating plans for a bedroom, while an orange floor plan will immediately inform a contractor that the print contains designs for a hallway. In this issue of Drafting Strategy, we'll explore the different features of each type of floor plan and look at the underlying connections that tie each room to its color. So this note about the political stuff is actually kind of important, because we've seen this talk about like the red guard, the red whatever. So you wouldn't use red as a blueprint thing because it would be tied to the political party. So apparently black is tied to a political party that's very contentious, and blue is not tied to any party, which is interesting because the crown has been changed from red to blue. It's seeming to imply, now that we've gotten to room 46, that we are now inheritors of like a new order. It's interesting to think about. Okay, most violet dreams. Architecturals died to bedrooms. I read that correctly in my first try. The bedroom is often referred to as the heart of the home, and with good reason. Source. It is the place where people can rest during a long day, where they can kick up their feet for a bit and recharge their batteries. Architects always use violet-bordered floor plans for bedrooms, and the comforting purple hues encountered while drafting will usually let a weary traveler know they have found a room in which they can rest up. Architects may wish to utilize bedroom strategies if they are the types who love to explore and backtrack frequently. Having an excess of steps usually affords bedroom enthusiasts the mobility to be more carefree with their plans for the day. So purple rooms, bedrooms, we've kind of figured that out over time. Violet, associated resources, steps. Average number of doors, 1 to 2, so they're not great for connectivity. Extra items, likely. Usually there's an item in each bedroom you draft. Synergies, sleeping mask, nursery, and servants' quarters. Yeah, if you draft the servants' quarters after making a bunch of bedrooms, you just get hella keys. Okay. Indoor verdure. Architectural Digest Guide to Green Rooms. Green rooms are a wonderful way to bring the outdoors inside and provide a breath of fresh air for the home. The abundance of plant life, rich soil, and natural resources in these spaces makes them extremely appealing for architects who enjoy gardening and open spaces. These floor plans are extremely synergistic, and strategies centered around green will often involve drafting as many of this color as possible. The more green rooms you're able to draft in your house, the more powerful their effects will become. Additionally, these spaces are more likely than other types of rooms to contain piles of dirt for digging. So green rooms, color green, associated resources, gems, average number of doors 2 to 3, extra items pretty much all the time. Synergies, most green rooms, yeah, shovel, watering can. Orange passage. If the bedroom is the heart of the home, then the hallways are the arteries, serving as the diverging paths that branch out to connect different parts of the house and lead visitors to their intended destination. While these orange corridors are often overlooked as one travels through them, they are a vital component of any house. The numerous doors found in each hall provide the means to add more rooms to your house, and the more hallways you have, the less likely you are to draft yourself into a dead end. Yeah, sure. Hallway strategies are ideal for the architect who prefers more rooms and flexible options for expansion over pure resources. The hallways orange associated resources keys. I guess. Average number of doors, 3 to 4. They're great for connectivity. Extra items, pretty much never. Synergies. Foyer, obviously you want that if you're going to do a lot of those. Lockpick kit, hall pass. Hall pass. Have we seen a hall pass? I don't think we've seen that yet. Golden trim, Architectural Digest guide to shop. Shops an essential part of any large estate, providing a convenient place for the staff and readiness to purchase items without having to leave the property. Including at least one of these floor plans in your house provided with an outlet for any coins that are found during the day. Strategies that involve generating lots of gold will usually want to draft multiple shop rooms to expand the range of shopping opportunities. Those floor plans are bordered with shades of gold, enhancing the sense of luxury and refinement of the shopping experience. Whether it's a quick snack or a high-end fashion item, having a well-placed shop within the estate can greatly enhance the quality of life for the entire household. Type shops, color gold, associated resource coins, average number of doors 2. Yeah, they tend not to get you anywhere. Extra items never for free, synergies, coin person, vault. They're gonna find a frickin' vault. Negative space, guide to red rooms. Red rooms are a daring addition to any home, providing a small element of danger that can excite and thrill both residents and visitors. I'm not exactly excited by the red rooms, but whatever. While these rooms come with a certain level of risk, they also offer the potential for substantial returns as they provide as many doors as they do opportunities. Except for the furnace, which sucks. Architects who are willing to take the plunge and draft a red room are often rewarded with a worse day, with a unique and striking space that leaves a lasting impression on those who enter. Just like in life, taking risks can be intimidating, but those who dare to venture outside their comfort zone can reap the greatest rewards. Associated resource, vexation. An average number 3 to 4, extra items seldom. Synergies, shelter, tomato soup, skilled players. They really just said get good. Prismatic rooms. You may, on rare occasions, notice some floor plans that have more than one color in their design. These rooms are unique in that they simultaneously share all the characteristics of each type of room associated with those colors. For example, a floor plan with a violet and gold border would be best described as a bedroom shop, which you'll never see. While an orange and green one might contain a corridor of greenery and plants, the aquarium is a very useful, multicolored floor plan as it supports all of the color-based strategies listed in the volume. For example, it can give you bonus steps for having a nursery as well as being unlocked for having a foyer. Yeah, so these are like the only 2 rooms that are multicolored. Unless you add the courtyard, which I didn't do. Courtyard is both orange and green. I think that's it. I don't think there's any other rooms that do that. Red room, bedroom. Word from the editor. As we reach the end of this volume of drafting strategy, we hope you have found valuable insights and colorful inspiration for your next architectural project. From the purples of our dreams to the reds of our fears, we believe that no ambition for an architect is too brave and no design is too colorful. To achieve our goals, we must delve deep into the spectrum, drawing upon all colors and ideas of daring merit. At the end of the day, color is just another tool. Excuse me, I don't see color. Some wield it to express their own creativity, some hoist it up as a display of their own power, some use it to calculate great sums, but all of us want to find a color we can call our own. That's racist. Alright. So it's, just basic information for pretty much that whole book. It'll confirm some things we may have had suspicions of, but there's this a little bit of information about political stuff. Black seems to be a very political color, and if you remember the credits sequence from a few videos ago, we're the Red Prince. We were wearing red all the time. Our mom was not. Our mom was always wearing black. Especially in the one scene where she talks about he didn't see the world I had to share, and she's like wearing black and looking all like badass and all that. And there's some talk about like the Black Shore or something. So that might be something we want to pay attention to. Cool. Was that fun or what? This door is going to lead us to hell. Let's see where it goes. Do I want to take this door? Might as well. What I would really love is a vault. So if I could just get a vault, please. Kind of forgotten what I'm on for. Observatory's good here because we can get more stars. This is a waste of my time. This is fine, but it's a dead end. I don't want the dead end yet. I can still go out this way. We're going to observatory it up. And then we're going to head back to the funeral parlor because I really need to be getting those gems. So this is the key. Yep, Clavis the key. And this is the 4-door rooms. Did I want to click that button? Because now the vault is even less likely. If I did not click on that thing, it would not have happened. Alright, fine. Okay. Give me the vault. Actually, don't give me the vault. I'm stupid. I just used a gem. I don't want the vault. I want the dining room so I can get some steppy steps. And then I can draft more red rooms without worry. Because every red room I draft gives me a key and it takes away some steps. 20 steps for that. 10 steps for the Enjoya lunch. Enjoya is my best friend. Okay. What's the quickest way back? What is the way back? Okay, this will take me somewhere else. Do I want to go out this way or up this way? I don't want to draft any rooms, actually. I want to be going to the funeral parlor, which is 1,000,000 miles away. Through security. Back through the kitchen, is that right? Through the boudoir. Through the bedroom. Got a lot of bedrooms in this house. Servants' quarters would go off pretty hard. Now I want to go... Oh, I can't go that way. So I want to go through the den to the left. Nope, can't go that way either. Now I want to go left. Yes. Funeral parlor. I should get how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 gems? Yeah, I should get 4 gems from this. If I solve the puzzle, I could just blow it and just ruin the day. Alright, the blue box is true. Thanks. The gems are in the true box. The black box is true. Alright, if this is true, then that is true, and this is false. The gems are in the false box, which would be this one. If this is false, then this is also false, which means this is true, and the gems are in the true box. Either way, the answer points to the white box. 4 gems. Okay, now I'm looking for that vault. If I don't get it, then I need to go back to the coat check. No, I didn't take the key out, did I? I didn't take the key out, so I'm good. Nothing bad happens if I fail the day. The item's still in there. Anything I can make here? No, I still want that metal detector. I'm worried about keys, too. Armory is fine. Maybe there's something here that will help. There's the axe. I do not want the axe. I also don't have the money for it. I can do this to make a red room to shield myself from the negative effect. So we're going to do that. Gain a star tomorrow is always good. Oh my goodness, I can't pick any locks. I'm such a fail son. Passageway is perfect for this. Their doors are probably all going to be locked, though. That's going to open because it's Mechanarium. Vault, vault. Give me the vault. Vault, vault. Give me the vault. No. No. Do I take the archives just so I can get more keys? I could do that. I'm going to take the Night Shield. Pick the archives, lose a couple steps, gain 2 keys, gain 2 keys. Is there anything in here I can use? Be nice if there was like an item. There isn't. So it's a dead end, but that's fine. Ooh, neat. I wouldn't even need a key for this. I am rapidly running out of rooms I can make. Vault, vault, give me the... We're gonna have to redraw, because this is... I don't have enough keys. Do I? I could use my keys here. Because one on this door and one on this door, basically, if I can just figure that out. And then save the redraw. We'll try that. This is a risk I'm willing to take. This could blow up in my face. Oh, I didn't even need the key. Vault, or do I use the pool here? The more I make rooms here, it does add stuff to today's draft pool, though, which does make the vault less likely. That is true. So it gets rid of one thing to add 3 more. Do I want to make this a dead end? I can get... Let's look at some items here. Let's do that. Key, key, gem, gem. That's not a bad pull because now I don't have to worry about this. Because chances are I'll be able to pick at least one of these locks. That one's the one I don't want to pick, so let's use this. Okay. I don't need that because I blocked off the door, I think. Did I block off the door? I don't think I did. I think I could actually pull that lever just fine. So let's pull this lever. Because then I could go through there if I wanted to get the crown of blueprints for some reason. That would be if I got the vault and I took the key in. Then I can get the crown of blueprints, put it in the coat check. That's what I could do. Okay. Vault. Let's take the gym. I'm okay losing the steps here. A lot of steps lost, though. Okay. Yeah, this is it. This just has to be the vault. Okay, we'll see. Well, never mind. Well, we're going to have to try again on another day. What's making me irritated is I could have actually gotten the vault today if I had just thought to pick up gems earlier before I drafted the treasure trove. But if I did that, I might not have had enough gems to get further. So it's possible I could have blown it after that, but still. Interesting that both times I've filled out my mansion, the trophy room's been the last one I've been able to draw. Is that might be on purpose. It might always draw a trophy room if it's the final one. Which means the gems really aren't that useful because you already drafted every room in the house. Well, somewhat disappointing. And I also didn't get a frickin' metal detector. That's the thing I really wanted. It wasn't in the commissary. I bought everything there. I don't have enough for the gift shop stuff. What else would I use? This, at least, is useful. I used the treasure map already. Magnifying glass. No, it really needed to be with that. Really needed to be with the metal detector. Well, there's a possibility. Hold on. Let's not give up yet. There could be an item behind here, and it could be the metal detector. Or it could just be these. It could also be these. That's fine. Whatever. There's no way that goes anywhere. This room has been fully explored. There's nothing else in it. I think that's the end of the day. Not the worst day ever. Like, we got some stuff. We got more allowance. The coat check, I'm leaving the item in there. It should still be in there because I didn't take it out. So we can just try again tomorrow. But I didn't get anything else I wanted, I don't think. Hold on, I didn't add a room from the drafting studio. Hold on. We're going to add a room. So Dovecote we saw. Dormitory. Each time you enter the dormitory after drafting a drafting room, you gain 10 steps. So it's like a better guest bedroom, but you do have to keep coming back to it. Clock tower. Tomorrow you start with 1 key for each tomorrow room in your draft today. I kind of like that, because I'm now starting to get to the point where keys are the biggest struggle of all the items I have. So I'm going to add the clock tower to my draft pool. Any other room I can use. Workshop, potentially. I don't think as any of these go together. Drawing room. None of these are going to help. I need to use the conservatory for the day. These have all been used. I opened this already, so I don't have to worry about it. Just want to make sure we don't leave any stone unturned. I didn't even open the doors in here, but I got them open somehow. Observatory has been used. Is there any reason to go? Well, I can't get into room 46. I didn't pull the north lever. I think we're going to call it a day here. Alrighty. Thanks for following along as we got through day 19. Still feels like we're no closer to getting those sanctum keys than we were from day 13. But don't worry, we are making progress, slow as it is. Eventually something will happen here, which will be good. So we got 3 new rooms drafted. Which ones? Conservatory, Treasure Trove, and Mechanarium, I think, were the 3 new ones. Eventually, if we draft every type of room, we get something, so we should be doing all that. Anyway, I'm going to take a break for now. Got to do something else. I'm going to play a game that is going to make me win. That's what I'm going to play. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I've been KeefW, and you've been whoever you are. Have a great day.